I literally watched someone turn the water off in my front yard. I had to ride my bicycle over to a grocery store, get 2 gallons of water, go back to my bathtub and take a shower because my water was turned off. Like, you hit rock bottom and you realize, okay, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I could learn a different path. You have the choice today to turn yourself around before you ever go to pain. And all you have to do is find the proven system, apply yourself consistently, prospect, set that appointment, build the relationship.
Hi everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Vulcan7 Coaches and Mentors, where we bring you some of the best in the industry to share with you their tips and strategies so that you can implement in your business immediately. If you haven't caught up on our previous episodes, make sure to check them out. You can watch them on YouTube or listen to them on your favorite streaming platforms. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring on today's guest, Rick Janson. Welcome, Rick.
Hi, Loida. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're so excited to have you on today's show. For everyone that's watching that maybe is not too familiar with you, just go ahead and give us a little bit about your background.
Sure. I got into real estate in 2002 after a career as an attorney with an MBA in marketing. And right out of the gate, I have to admit, I struggled. And I struggled because I thought I knew it all. I was smart in one field, so I must be smart in another. And it took me a long time and a lot of failure, to be honest, to find out that I actually needed coaches, I needed mentors, I needed proven systems. And when you start applying yourself consistently in a proven direction, you get a proven result. So doing that over time, I started winning awards like eight-time five-star award winner. I've been featured on the cover of magazines like Top 100 People in Real Estate magazine. And I know for the past couple of years, I've started diversifying a little bit. So I've developed some AI software, both with AI-generated voice and AI-generated avatars. And now I'm writing a book with a bunch of other people. So it's keeping busy.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. Like the transformation of everything that you have gone through, where you started, where you are now. But I want to take it back a little bit when you got into the business, because there might be some newer agents that are leaving careers that they have built up, maybe just like yourself. So for you, what was that transition like initially?
That transition was really rough for me. And giving up like the ego of being an attorney to being a real estate agent was really hard. And it might be hard to understand that, but like giving up the perceived prestige, which now I'm like, okay, whatever. But at the time, it was kind of emotionally hard for me. And then financially, it was hard too. And that's one of the reasons we started down the course of writing this book, or I started down this course. And it's a book called Real Estate Mastery, Your First 90 Days as an Agent. And what the book is intended to do is sort of attack the meme of you don't learn anything about actually running a business in real estate school. And one of the problems that I had, and I freely admit, I lost 2 homes to foreclosure because I was on the commission roller coaster. And one of the things that we don't do is seek out those mentors. And so what I started doing for this book was I reached out to 30, 35 top producers, top coaches, business owners. And I said, would you be so kind as to sit down with me and give me 30 minutes of your time and pour wisdom into a new agent? And one of the things I love about really successful people is they were all so generous with their time, with their resources, with their knowledge. And over the course of these interviews, I started unpacking what it is that you could learn about business that they didn't teach in real estate school. Things about how to prospect, how to set up your day, how to build relationships, how to brand, all these different topics. And so we're packing all of those into this book, and I think it's going to be a new pillar for achieving success out of school.
And it sounds like it's something that every single agent, especially if they're newer in the business, will have to read, because I agree with you. After I got my license, and even as I have been in the business, anytime anyone wants to get into real estate and they ask me, hey, what you learned in school, is that how, real life real estate is? And I'm like, no, it's probably way different. And you're going to have to deal with emotions and negotiations that probably didn't teach you in real estate school.
Exactly. And the same thing happened out of law school. Nothing I learned in law school, nothing on the bar exam did I use actually, helped me become a successful attorney. And so you get out of law school and you struggle because nobody's taught you how to do your job. And one of the things I've amassed over the course of 20 plus years in real estate is some really good contacts and blessed with some really high level people, top producers like Ty Stockton and Liz Leeds, Richard Silver, Bob Pennypacker. Like, these are top 1% luxury agents. And then also coaches like Sean Kokoska, who founded MAPS Coaching, and Isaiah Colton, people who are like Burl Workman, people who like a lot of agents will never have access to. Maybe on a free webinar, but they don't have access to just say, hey, one-on-one, can you pour into me? So I said, the gift that I could give back to the community that's given so much to me, the gift I could give back is let me pull together all of my contacts and then have them pour into the new agent and then put it forth in the form of a book. And at the end of every chapter, there's going to be a link to the Zoom interview so you can dive in even deeper and experience that one-on-one that I enjoyed.
That's so awesome. And as you're talking about it, I'm wondering, when is this book going to be available so that everybody knows to go in and pick it up?
Soon. So I had the whole book done, and then I brought it to an editor who said this looks like a great like workbook, but apparently most books are actually over 50% of books are consumed on Audible, and
Mhm.
so we're reformatting the book right now for Audible, and then making that also something that someone could read as well. So we're in the process of doing that. I'm hoping that it'll be early Q1 2025.
Awesome. And I love that you said that the interviews are also going to be available in case anyone wants to watch them, which I think it's awesome as well. So you'll probably be able to read it, listen to it, or watch it. So you're going to get everyone.
Exactly. And so, some of these, and then we're also going to have a workbook to go along with it so that you can say, okay, how do I structure my day? How do I build my brand? How do I cultivate that relationship? What do I put into a drip campaign? How do I nurture and prospect FISBOs, expireds? How do I circle prospect? Ren Jones, the owner of Vulcan7, was kind enough to lend us his time for a chapter. Invaluable. And so, all of these things that we're putting into the book are going to be focused. There's no fluff. It's all practical and tactical.
So as you're interviewing all of these people, was there a recurring theme of whether it's a topic or something that each and every single one of them said, agents need to be doing this. What was that like?
Yeah, and there was no surprise to me because I've been in the business 20 years. But I keep saying like, hey, there are 35 chapters or whatever it is, and this is your chapter, and the chapter would come back to this, and this is your chapter, and the chapter would come back to this, and over and over and over. I think two things really stood out to me. One is where this is not a sales business, this is not a real estate business, this is a relationship business. And it's the importance of nurturing those relationships over time and adding value above and beyond real estate knowledge and forming that deep relationship where they turn to you for everything. And everybody that's been successful, and every author in this book is very, very successful, every contributor, they all hammered that relation or came back to that relationship theme. The second theme, and this is going to raise the hairs on the back of the necks of some people, comes back to prospecting and kind of taking care of and time blocking out for the one thing that actually drives your business, which is consistent prospecting to and in a proven method, right? Not just saying, hey, I'm going to be doing busy work today, I'm redesigning my LinkedIn banner and I'm posting hamburgers on Facebook. That's not prospecting. Prospecting is actually getting on the phone, having meaningful conversations with people who own real estate or want to own real estate, and setting appointments. Because if you're not setting appointments, what was the point of even taking time away from your family? What was the point of getting dressed and going to the office? Because it's appointments is where we convert, because that's where we're building the relationships, and when we build the relationships, that's where we get the business, and that's where we get the referrals. And someone mentioned to me like, hey, if I take care of 3 hours of my day, the rest of my week and all of my problems are taken care of because it just generates the cash flow, it generates the appointments, it generates the
Mhm.
relationships. And so the book covers a lot about, well, how do you do that? And not just one way, but many, many different ways. Because we're not trying to make you the next Verl Workman. We're not trying to make you the next, Liz Leeds or Miranda Katie. We're trying to make you the best version of you. And that's what the book's all about.
So, for you specifically, your story, when you got started in the business, right? You left your previous career as a lawyer, you're now into real estate, you're doing this full time. What did your prospecting, your schedule, what did all that look like for you?
It's a mess, a hot mess. Like I said, I didn't have a mentor, and I was too proud to pick up a book. I was too proud to pay for coaching, and I didn't realize like the value that could have put in. So I didn't set up the systems to consistently build my database. Adding two new people to my database every day. I didn't have three outreach conversations. I didn't have one face-to-face meeting. I didn't consistently build up my database, my CRM, have drip campaigns. No, I was like coding in Drupal and all sorts of languages that don't even really exist anymore, to dominate the web and then somehow passively get all this business to me. That doesn't work, right? Unless you do it at a very, very high level. So my system was a mess. And it wasn't until I started saying, okay, well, let me do something consistent. Let me do something proven so that I know if it's proven and to do it consistently, then I'll get results. I would say that was probably the third theme of the book is consistency.
So was there a point in time, did something happen in life, or maybe you were just not getting the deals that you thought you were going to get, that you're like, okay, I need to get a mentor, get a coach, and really get it together. Otherwise, I'm not going to thrive in this business.
Yeah, fortunately, I didn't have a family yet. I was still single, but I hit rock bottom financially. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I say this with, I'm just letting you know, people, like, I'm not here to brag. I'm not even humble bragging. Like, I literally watched someone turn the water off in my front yard. I had to ride my bicycle over to a grocery store, get 2 gallons of water, go back to my bathtub and take a shower because my water was turned off. Like, you hit rock bottom and you realize, okay, maybe I don't know everything, right? Maybe I could learn a different path. And I share that with you because if I can bounce back from that, so can you. And more importantly, you should never have to hit that place. And part of the creation of this book and the fire that keeps me going with this is that I never want someone to have to hit that level of pain in order to make a turnaround. Because you have the choice today to turn yourself around before you ever go to pain. And all you have to do is like find the proven system, apply yourself consistently, prospect, set that appointment, build the relationship. And that's the whole book, but there's much more to it.
So 10 years in, right, as you're already thriving in the real estate business, what did that look like for you? Were you a solo agent? Were you a part of a team? Did you grow a team?
Yeah, so I was an independent broker. And so my goal with being an independent broker was like, I'm going to build the best, I'm going to have the best photography, best videos, best 3D models, best brochures. I'm going to offer the most service and the lowest splits. And so I tried to start building out this completely unrealistic business model. Why? Because I was trying to reinvent the wheel. And now I was successful, but now I was like, well, maybe I can make everybody else be just like me. And what ended up happening was I wasn't delegating. And so I became the photographer, but then I became the photography editor. And so I now is spending 6 hours editing every listing of every one of my agents, which was time away from working out, time away from relationship building, time away from now it's starting to have a family. And without proper delegation, I started like losing, I wasn't valuing my time at $500 an hour, right? And if you start valuing your time at $500 an hour, which is $1 million GCI real estate agent, you stop doing things like editing. You stop doing things like posting on social media, and you start delegating. And so, now I white label a virtual assistant company so that I can be an authorized dealer of a proven system of finding $6 an hour help, because a coach finally sat me down one day and said, Rick, do you want to become the world's best real estate photographer, or do you want to take another picture of your kid on a beach? And the light bulb went off. I was like, I absolutely don't care about window poles that much, but I do want to spend more time taking a picture of my son getting hit by a wave and splashing in the sunset, right? That was fun for me. And so I started offloading. Like, the easiest one for me was photography editing. And now I could upload all my pictures at 10 o'clock, and I got them back perfectly edited by 8 o'clock in the morning for $40. And I got 6 more hours of sleep. And so starting to prioritize, like, okay, what should I be doing and what should others be doing, allows you to scale up and grow.
I think that's a great point about delegation, because many times as agents, we think, well, I do it best. I do the descriptions the best. I take the best pictures, the best editing. And it's almost like we have a hard time letting go and giving that task to someone else. But it goes back to what you just mentioned. Once we put a value and we say, my time is worth $500, $1,000 an hour, should I be editing this picture? Probably not, because for you, now you got time back where things are getting edited probably overnight while you sleep. You wake up, you don't have to worry about it, and you gain more time in your life to spend with your family, do other exciting, fun things.
Exactly. And that's also why I started coaching how to leverage AI 2 years ago. And I'm a strategic coach for Realm Global Partners, which is top 1% real estate agents in the country, around the world, actually. So we have over 600 students there. I freelance teach with anybody who applies with me. But what I teach is how to leverage AI. And you can delegate to AI, and then you take it up a notch, and then you delegate to a VA that's using AI. So we kind of walk you through those steps. First, we get you time back, leveraging artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and other tools. And once you start getting time back and you start making money, you start allocating some of that money to hire a VA that's now using AI. So now you start getting 100x, 1000x improvements on efficiency, and we can actually measure your return on investment.
So there's always a lot of things coming out with AI, and it's really exciting that you're talking about it and that, you're having agents see the possibilities of leveraging it and also using a VA. So let's say for next year or even like 5 years from now, where do you think we'll be when it comes with AI?
So AI, and I want to clarify this for people because people are like, oh, I'm just worried about AI, and there's kind of five emotional stages of going through AI. First, there's like indifference, then there's fear, then there's embarrassment, then confidence and transformation. And the indifference right now is where a lot of people are still. They're like, I don't need it. Then there's a little bit of fear, like, oh my gosh, it's coming for my job. Then there's embarrassment where you start like taking some free classes from me and you start saying, oh wow, I actually can write that listing description better than I could myself, right? I've been writing listing descriptions for 20 years. I'm tired of saying open and bright light floor plan, right? Like, oh my gosh, if I have to describe another kitchen, save me, please. So now I wrote a custom GPT, which is like having a little virtual listing assistant or listing copywriter. I upload pictures, and based off the rules and the knowledge I gave my custom GPT, it'll read the pictures and write my listing description for me using the best words, avoiding words, and using best formats. So just even in putting a listing up, I can save 30, 45 minutes and get better output. So now all of a sudden I start getting confident. And now I'm like emotionally, I'm like the confidence builds. Now I start taking paid classes. Now I start paying for a coach. Like, how can I get better? And then you start having fully transformative results. So where are we going to be is we're going to have people walking through that emotional scale, going from indifference to fear. A lot more people are going to be coming into embarrassment, but from that embarrassment, I'd like to see a lot more people reaching confidence, where they're saying, okay, I'm using AI to get rid of some of these boring, mundane tasks to speed up my copywriting, to improve my copywriting. I did like 50 cold outreach, personalized cold outreach in LinkedIn in like an hour and a half yesterday, which I could never do on my own. Like getting that efficiency. So the whole point of which is to make another appointment so I can be there one-on-one at $500 to $1,000 an hour, making that relationship that converts to a sale, which converts to commission. Which that's really the only reason that we can keep being in business is we're generating cash.
Yes. And so Jansen.ai is the website, right? That agents can go and visit to learn more about that?
Yeah, Jansen.ai is a website I have set up. It'll redirect you. That's just the easiest way to set it up. So Jansen AI will redirect you to a place where you can start logging on, get some free resources, start exploring what AI looks like. A lot of free resources there, and then eventually, hopefully someday we start working one-on-one or in small groups together.
Nice, awesome. I feel like we've talked about so many different topics, but it all has been great information. So, as we're getting ready to wrap up, what would you say are three things that agents need to be doing right now to have a successful 2025?
I'm going to come back to the three themes of the book. It's going to be set consistently prospect, adding new people to your database, set appointments and build relationships. But consistency, just time block. And one of the things you can do for time blocking is if you're afraid, like I don't have enough time in the week to do what I need to do, set up your week first in 15-minute increments. Book in your gym, book in your prayer time, book in your family time, your lunch, your all the things, your grocery store, your workout. Put all those things in the calendar first. Make the life you actually want to lead, and then look at how much free time is there. Now go back. Now that you have the life you actually want to have, go back in and fill in all the work. And now you can approach that work with a lot more joy because you're saying, well, I'm already going to the gym. I'm already spending time with my significant other. I'm already going skiing, working out. I have time to go to the grocery store and do laundry. I have that lifestyle. So the work just enables that lifestyle. So design the life you want to lead, but then do it consistently.
There you go. Well, Rick, thank you so much for coming on Coaches and Mentors. This has been a great episode. We're going to make sure to put all of your links in the description box below. Everyone, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.